This is Don't Panic, episode number 366, recorded June 26th, 2023. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and of course, you. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always by a good personal friend, a man who I respect so much I won't make a joke at his expense. It's Colby Rabideau. Hello, Colby.
Wow, this has never happened before.
I finally respect you after 366 episodes and over 10 years of friendship. Yes.
Wild.
You have earned it. Good job. No, actually, I did have a bit, and I totally forgot what it was. So I scrambled at the. If I remember it, I will mention it.
That was a pretty good recovery.
I've done enough of these. That's for sure. What's good, Mr. Colby? No Dan this week.
Danless. Pretty much everything I own has been breaking lately.
Oh my god!
Things are just.
You're finding antiquities
like flies. Yeah. Well, like for a while, my car broke. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
The car is back, which is great, and it was the least bad option. The thing that happened, or the fix for the thing that happened was the best possible option. So that was nice. But then the other day, they've been doing some brick repair on the wall outside my building, so they get up on a like weird like lift thing every morning at 7:30 and start grinding the wall, which is fun. But shortly after they installed the lift thing, we had a big rainstorm, and then I noticed some exciting new water spots on my ceiling, which is fun.
Oh my god.
And then the other day, the handle just came off our kitchen sink. So, like, that was cool. So we got a new kitchen sink.
So now you're a condominium owner.
Yeah.
What the sink thing? I'm assuming you're responsible for. Are you responsible for the ceiling thing?
I think I'm responsible for my sheetrock. Like.
Oh, that's not fair.
I could probably insurance it. I don't know if it's bad enough that I'm going to do anything other than paint over it.
Fair enough.
I did call them, or I called the building, and the guy was like, "Oh, I'll call the people who are doing the thing." And like the dude came and looked, and he was like, "Oh shit."
Good answer.
So he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go up there with the like roof sealer or whatever and like seal the roof."
Some Flex Seal.
Yeah. So if it doesn't, so far it hasn't gotten any bigger, I don't think. So if nothing else happens, I'm gonna call it fixed and just like paint over the brown spot on the ceiling.
That's very fair.
Right. But I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to open the ceiling and learn what's going on.
No, you might find a bunch of French rats cooking dinner. No, that's right. Ratatouille.
Statistically, Laura and I were walking into the building today, and there was a young lady sitting on the stoop with a little cage, like some kind of pet carrier. And, there was a furry thing inside. And as we walked by, I glanced back and I saw two like naked tails, like two huge pet rats. I hope that they're not going to be living in the building soon. We have enough rats.
Yeah, well, I think, Colby, you're going to have to now get 3 rats to one up that person.
Sure. Or a cat.
Oh, and get a real rivalry going.
Yeah. Cats aren't allowed. I don't think rats are allowed either. Honestly, but
yeah, I don't think anything is really allowed.
I feel like rats are easier to keep a lid on, literally and metaphorically.
Well, I was at there's a great local sort of a farm and feed type store nearby. They got plants and pet stuff, and it's a nice little store. And I've been in there a bunch of times, but I noticed they kind of had this side room that I'd never been in. And I just kind of looked in, and there were a bunch of aquariums and small pet tanks. So they had fish and lizards and frogs. And then there was this sort of big glass thing kind of in the middle. And I walk up and I see these furry things. And I go, oh, I was with my mother. I said, Ma, check it out. They got chinchillas. And then this woman from the back yells, they're not chinchillas. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, they are, and I forgot what it was. I actually had to look up the name. They're Lanigeras, which is a small version of a chinchilla. Still a chinchilla, just a smaller, like rat size version. And it was shocking. She was very upset that and mind you, there was no sign saying that. She just expected me to know that.
I tried to Google for this, and I did not succeed in getting the spelling. So poorly, so far from the mark was I that Google didn't even know. Like,
Google just quit on you?
Right. I have like some weird Wikipedia page, like a French word, and some like people's Instagram profiles.
Yeah. I just put a link in the Riverside for you if you're really curious. They have a little comparative picture between the two kinds.
Oh, Lanigeras. Wow.
Yep. So I learned something, and then I kind of ran away.
After being scolded.
I said, please don't. I'm clearly not an expert. And
Right.
nor did I want to buy one. That is for sure.
Obviously, they need some better signage on the case.
There was no signage at all. It was just a mystery animal.
Right. They need a sign that says it's not a chinchilla.
Ask for more.
Right. Curious.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, that's sorry to hear all your stuff is breaking. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but so far it's all been fixable. So there have been no unrecoverable errors, just a lot of errors.
No true catastrophes.
Right. Knock on wood. Yeah. How's your house?
I was trying to think if anything had recently fallen apart or broken, and the general answer is no. I don't think so.
That's
I had
great.
to replace my electric toothbrush because that finally died.
Wow. How long had you had your electric toothbrush?
Well, it's funny. The first one I had, I just keep buying the same Oral-B one the Wirecutter recommends. It's a good toothbrush. But the first one I had for a year. And I was like, this doesn't seem very long. And then the second one I had for 4 years. And I'm like, that seems like a good run for a $50 toothbrush. That's in my mouth a lot of the time.
Sure. I don't know how long I've had my toothbrush.
I was shocked it was that long. I would have sworn it was less, but I had my Amazon history and that clued me in.
Now I want to know. My toothbrush, I have one of the Philips ones. And honestly, it mostly works fine. I've had it for at least 4 years. Probably longer than that, though. Like, I think it was like, I think it might be even like 6 or something.
Yeah, as long as you change the heads on it, the mechanics are going to be good.
Oh, you're supposed to change the heads?
Kapow! Colby's got like 2 little bristles left on it. It's not
There's
working.
no bristles. It's just a plastic thing. That's
just scraping it against your teeth. When will he learn?
Feels so clean.
It's very funny. My dentist's office, they really are wonderful. I think they're great, but they love the upsell. And so they must get them at like really low rates and can mark them up. And every time I go in there, like, do you use an electric toothbrush? And I say yes. And they say, oh, what kind do you use? And they go, well, that's not, we have the Sonicare. We have the $200 Sonicare here. And then if you like try to lie, I tried to lie last time I was there. That was I should have just told them to fuck off, but I didn't. So instead they're like, oh, do you have, I said, yeah, no, I got the Sonicare. It's great. And they goes, oh, we have replacement heads. Let me go get some for you. And so she brings it for the toothbrush I don't own. And she's like, oh, we've got this one. And I said, actually, are you sure? I said, no, stop trying to sell me at the damn dentist's office. You're overpriced nonsense. Wow.
That's brutal. My dentist has never tried to sell me anything besides like
good dental health.
Yeah. Or orthodonture. Um, yeah, I looked it up. I ordered my Sonicare in 2018,
Nice.
so it's been 4 or 5 years.
Very solid. It's a
It's
good
good.
run.
The button's a little funny, but mostly it works. I like that. I okay. I read an article a few weeks ago about Sonicares and the brush heads. You know how the brush head, like, no, I don't know if yours does this, but the brush heads on the Sonicares, like when you change it, like the toothbrush knows somehow, um, and like it knows how long you've used it for, and once you've used it for, the recommended amount of time, there's a light that comes on that's like, yo, change your brush head. And it turns out that every brush head has a little like RFID
Oh,
thing
really? Oh,
on it.
wow.
Yeah, and the toothbrush like updates the RFID. So it like saves like how many seconds it's been brushed with or something, uh to the actual toothbrush head, which has some electronic memory.
Wow. That's
It's
pretty
very
neat.
elaborate.
That's a handy Yeah, I mean, I know they have them with Bluetooth in them, and they have like 18 different cleaning modes, and they have the
Sure.
one. I don't know if you have the water pick, if you've ever seen or used those, which is the tool that like jets out water. They now have the toothbrush with the water pick built in. I saw. So it's a toothbrush, and it just It has like a hose coming off of it, and it blasts your teeth with water as you're brushing, which sounds so wild. You're not gonna have 8 teeth left.
When you started talking about water picks, it occurred to me that water picks are like bidets for your mouth. It's
That might be the episode title. That's a good one.
gross.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I think I had a water pick when I had braces.
I
That
think
was a thing where
they
were
try and
like,
sell you on those. They try
Right.
and sell you on those.
right. It was probably the dentist office that sold us the water pick. It's like, oh, you really need this. They were very concerned.
Yes, and they're a huge pain in the ass to use, and then they were used for like a week, and then we were like, "Fuck it, it's not worth it.
Yes.
Leave the gunk stuck in there."
Right. I'll just floss. It's fine. I didn't floss when I had braces, but I floss now. I'm an adult.
You are, and you're ahead of the game.
Yeah. When I go to the dentist, they never say. They always ask what my routine is, but they never chide me for not flossing enough, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think what it is I have just every time I set a very low bar for myself in conversing with the dentist, where I'm like, I'm sure they're super dirty, I'm sure they're bad, like I don't like I really undersell it, and then when they go in there, they're like, they're not actually that bad. I'm like, got them.
It was a trick.
And they're always like, Sean, I'm in, your teeth are really good, and I go, thank you. I was worried. It's like, of course they're fine. Their teeth.
Maybe that's the movie going. It's like, oh man, I feel so worried about my teeth. Like I just haven't. I keep forgetting to brush. And
Yeah, I don't brush.
definitely
I don't
not
floss.
flossing enough.
I eat a big chocolate cake before dinner every night, and don't before bed, and don't
every night.
every
I rub a
night.
little
And
frosting on my gum.
what's that? No cavities? How's that even possible? Must have magic teeth.
Wow.
Although should I confess something on the show here? I don't think we've ever talked about this. I actually got it's called a cavity as a stretch, but I did have to get a little filling done between my two front teeth. Believe it or not, I didn't even know that was a thing, because I guess something at some point had gotten stuck in there long enough or repeatedly enough to eat away at it.
Yeah.
And they actually do a little filling. I didn't even know that was a thing.
So I grind my teeth when I sleep sometimes. So I have like a mouth guard, but before I got the mouth guard, I had done enough like unprotected teeth grinding that I had like worn out a bunch of the like the tops of my like front teeth. So the last dental thing I had was not for cavities, but they like ground out like the top of my like front two teeth on the top and bottom, and like rebuilt them with whatever tooth filler goop they use.
Is there any other cosmetic surgery you want to tell us about? Any nose work, skin work, Botox?
No, I'm otherwise all natural except for my janky teeth.
That is, I did read an article today. I will not talk about it on the show. We can talk about it later if you're curious. I'll have to send you a link. ProPublica did a very in-depth article on the sketchy world of penile enhancement, surgical penile enhancement. It was very interesting. And it was all around, it was really centered around this guy who developed this implant that he claimed was FDA approved and it wasn't. And it's like, it's very interesting. It was a very interesting piece. But I was reading it at work and people kept coming into my office. I'm like, go away. I'm reading. Go away.
It's NPR.
It's learning. I'm learning. It's something to do with screws, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Different kind of screws.
Right. Different category.
Hot damn. We get bawdy when Dan's not here.
Out of control.
Colby, unless you have something else interesting in your life you want to talk about.
I'm doing a lot of finger guns.
I
don't know where that's coming
doing
from.
the guns.
Yeah.
I wrote up some bits for
bits?
us to do.
Like,
yes.
Like ones and zeros?
No, that would actually be more appropriate than what I did. So Dan usually fills up most of the airtime while you and I listen to his exciting life. So I have a little
more exciting life.
A little trivia for you if you'd be willing to give it a shot.
Heck yeah.
I like putting you in the spot.
What's the category?
I actually have 2 trivia challenges that I wrote up. The first one is probably, I don't know if it's easier. I have a list here of common foods and all the years they were invented. And I'm simply going to say, I'm going to give you 2 and I'm going to say which was invented first. Couldn't be simpler. You got a 50-50 shot.
Okay.
You think you can do it?
Probably not, but.
Okay. Well, I believe in you. Which came first, the chicken nugget or the buffalo wing?
Oh, I'm gonna say the chicken nugget.
Okay, what's your thought on that?
Because I want to say the opposite, but which I feel like is correct. Like buffalo wings seem like it'd be timeless. Because they aren't affiliated with the McDonald's brand, but I think it's actually the opposite. And like chicken nuggets have been around a lot longer, and buffalo wings are a latter day.
Invented by the Pilgrims on the Mayflower.
Yeah.
They were the first to nugget the chicken. No, you're actually incorrect. You should have gone. Buffalo wings invented in Buffalo, of course, 1964. Chicken nuggets, 1983, almost 20 years later.
Yeah. I mean, they were both before I was born, so.
Most of these are, I will warn you. Nothing good was invented after we were born. Let's see. How about another one here?
This is unrelated but tangential. Did you know Wendy's has excellent chicken nuggets? Much better chicken nuggets than McDonald's.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, actually. I think they're very nice. Have you ever done the spicy chicken nuggets?
No, because I only recently learned that the regular chicken nuggets are excellent.
Actually, their chicken sandwiches are good too there, if you've ever done the sandwich. So.
Yes, the Wendy's chicken sandwich was something I've known about. But the nuggets were news to me. Also, I saw on the window of a Wendy's today that the strawberry frosty is back.
Yes,
which brings me some joy.
That is, tis the season. You know, I did try we're going to get up here. Do you know Dunkin' has wraps now?
I didn't know they have wraps, but I next to the Wendy's on the window of the Dunkin', I saw that they have tacos.
The tacos aren't great. The wraps are very good. I would skip the tacos and go straight to the wraps.
Straight to the wrap.
Cool. They're filled with like a cheesy concoction of chicken or chorizo with peppers and a bunch of other stuff. They're good.
That sounds good.
In a hearty wrap. All right. Which came first, meatloaf or the cheeseburger? And I'll give you a hint. I say cheeseburger specifically. The hamburger had been around for a while, but what is the? I'm going for the credited date of the invention of the cheeseburger specifically versus meatloaf.
The cheeseburger. I'm gonna say meatloaf came first.
I would do anything for love, but I would get the correct answer. That's a meatloaf reference. 1918, meatloaf was invented. Cheeseburger, 1938. So you got that one right. Let's see here. How about
was the hamburger, the non-cheeseburger, invented before or after meatloaf? That's what I really want to know.
I believe it. I don't have the date, but if memory serves me, it was before. Hamburger, I mean, it's just a lump of ground beef. I think it's, although I don't know what then makes it a meatloaf. I guess if you bake it.
Yeah, I feel like it's the loaf shape you get from putting it in a
loaf pan. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Maybe it was just the first time someone called it a meatloaf. A very appetizing name. All right. Which came first, the deep dish pizza or frozen dinners?
Oh. I'm trying to like I've been to Chicago and had deep dish pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can picture the restaurant, and I'm trying to like imagine if there's a year on the sign under the logo. Frozen.
I will give you a hint. They're actually probably closer than any other combination I've given you. There's not a huge gap.
Interesting. I guess deep dish pizza is what I'm gonna say.
Only 10 years separate them. You are correct. Deep dish pizza, 1943. The frozen dinner, 1953.
Wow.
And let's do the last one. These two are the closest in date. Which came first, instant noodles or tater tots?
Tater tots. It's like ramen instant noodles, like that kind of. I feel like instant noodles because it just seems like there's more technology required for tater tots to create that potato, that chipped potato, like wood chippered.
How they form it. It's a potato loaf if you really think about
it. Yeah.
Well, only 2 years separate them. You didn't get this one, though. Actually, tater tots did come first in 1956, followed by instant noodles in 1958. Sorry, bud.
I'm surprised that tater tots are that old. They seem like future food.
Well, I think it's because a lot of these are like tater tots, 56, frozen dinners, 53. I feel this was the era of like experimental post-war, like frozen foods becoming. Believe it or not, the tater tot was invented by the Ore-Ida Corporation, the Frozen Fry Corporation. So, so I think that was a big part of that experimentation.
Do you think they invented tater tots like to be able to use, like they're like the hot dogs of potatoes? It's like when you make your potatoes into different shapes, you need to take the chips, the potato, wood chipper detritus, and like make them into something that people will eat.
Would it surprise you to learn that's exactly right? Tater tots were invented in, according to Wikipedia, in 1953 when American frozen food company Ore-Ida founders were trying to figure out what to do with leftover slivers of cut-up potatoes. They chopped up the slivers, added flour and seasoning, then pushed the mash through holes and sliced off pieces of the extruded mixture. The product was first commercially in stores in 1956.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like there should be a category of foods that is like that like cross-cutting category of foods where I was like, this is like we had leftover stuff and decided to like grind it up and turn it into a weird shape.
I think, and by the way, 3 billion tater tots are eaten every year. My favorite of that is, are you familiar with the Dum Dum Pops, the mystery flavor?
Yes.
Do you know what that actual flavor is?
No.
If it's right into this category, what it is so they have these big, they've done like TV shows on it. These big vats that the balls roll around in to get flavor. And maybe the bat's making grape. And then the next day they decide to switch the vat to green apple. Well, rather than emptying it and cleaning it and then putting in the green apple, they actually run pops through it as it's transitioning. So it's actually saving them time and money. They would have had just a bunch, and they just label them as mystery flavor.
That's awesome. I
So,
love it.
American engineering at its finest.
Runoff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Real good for you. Now, I do have one other quiz, if you're up for it.
Sure.
And this one goes into the world of politics. I know you're a big Politico.
Sure.
Have you been following at all the early stages of the Republican primary for president in 2028?
No.
Good. That will lean into my plans. Colby, right now, 12 people have declared their candidacy.
Oh my God.
And I have a list here of 6 people. Now, these are real people. I did not make them up, and I did not make up their bios. They really exist. However, only half of them are actually running for president. Can you pick which 3 are running for the Republican nomination?
I'll try my darndest.
And you always do, and that's why we have fun here. All right. First up is... what order do I want to do these in? Let's go with Glenn Youngkin, the governor of Virginia.
Yes.
No, he is not running. He is not. People want him to run. He's not running. I'm so sorry.
I see. I've definitely heard the name.
That's why I
recently,
thought I
which
could get
is
you.
why- Yeah, you did.
I did. All right. How about this one? Larry Elder, best known as the host of the Larry Elder Show.
What's the Larry Elder Show about?
If you're running for Republican politics, you can probably guess.
I guess I'm gonna say yes.
You are correct. Larry Elder ran for governor of California and lost in the last election for that race and is now running for president. So you got one.
Cool.
Let's see. How about Rick Scott, the senator from Florida?
Rick Scott.
The bald guy, the scary-looking
Yeah.
bald guy.
No, I can picture his face. It's upsetting.
Yes.
I feel like he's often compared to Voldemort.
Yes. Totally makes sense.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, I was hoping to get you. You are correct. He is not running. He is remaining as senator of Florida. How about Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota and self-made millionaire?
No.
Incorrect. He is running for president. He won't win. Actually, I believe, is he the guy? He sold his company to Microsoft back in the peak of tech boom for millions. That's where he got his money.
Good for him.
All right, 2 more here. How about Tom Vilsack, the former governor of Iowa? Tom Vilsack.
Yes.
Wrong. Actually, super wrong. He's a Democrat. Who actually did run for president back in, I think, 2008. All right, we got a last one here. Francis Suarez, the mayor of Miami.
I guess yes, right? I'm trying to do the math. No.
Yeah, I was about to say, I should have told you it was 50%. You're correct. He is running for president for some reason. So there you go, Colby. You learned something. Can you name anyone else who isn't on this list who's running for president?
I mean, Donald Trump.
That's okay. You got that one.
And Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis. Anyone else?
Chris Christie?
He is. Hey, that's very good. He is running.
That's all I know.
That's it. That's okay. You shouldn't. Honestly, I would be worried if you knew more.
There are 6 others, though, right? Who are the others?
Well, yeah. There's Nikki Haley.
Oh, sure. I forgot about her.
Someone you haven't heard of, Will Hurd, a U.S. representative from Texas.
You heard?
You heard. Asa Hutchinson, former governor of Arkansas. Perry Johnson, who has never even been in politics, and I can't even describe who he is. Mike Pence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Vivek Ramaswamy, businessman. Tim Scott. And that's it. I've named everybody.
Cool. Well,
so there you go. Something to look forward to.
Wow. That's not this year, right? Is it?
No, it's 2024. But when do the primaries will start just after the first of the year? So I think the first debate is August. If you're feeling like torturing yourself,
right,
and being miserable, which I know, that's your thing.
Sometimes you need a little self-flagellation. You need to be punished.
Yeah, well, it's like, hey, my life could be like these guys, it could be worse. I could be running for president. So just get my ass handed to me.
It does sound terrible.
Well, there you go. You'll learn something. Now, Colby, admittedly, the July 4th weekend is coming up, which means nobody is at work, which means there's not very much tech news happening, admittedly. There's a few stories in here. We can talk about one of these, or if something comes to mind you want to talk about, please share. Or I can do more trivia, but I don't know if anybody wants that.
If I were better at trivia, maybe we could do that. But
you did great.
Thank you. Let's talk about Amazon tricking customers into Prime subscriptions.
Sure, the FTC has taken Amazon to court. They are suing them over claims the company fooled customers into signing up for Prime while simultaneously thwarting attempts to cancel, allegedly violating the FTC Act and the Restore Online Shoppers Confidence Act through misleading designs that got users to register for Prime without true consent. They also said they slowed or rejected design changes that would have made it easier to cancel. Now, the FTC has been investigating Amazon Prime since March of 2021. The investigation obtained internal documents showing that Amazon was aware of customer objections as early as 2017. Shoppers were encouraged to sign up for a 30-day trial with a single click during checkout, but had to wait through multiple pages to cancel service before the trial ended.
Classic Amazon.
Gross. Gross. Yeah, I just went through and did a big subscription purge. And canceled. And I was shocked. The worst company I've ever dealt with in terms of canceling a subscription was SiriusXM.
Oh.
Now this was years ago. They make you call. Can't do it online. You got to call the number. You call the number. They spend a minimum of 20 minutes trying to convince you to say. And by the time you've been transferred to 5 people, it took forever. When I got my car, it came with a discounted subscription, which I had for like the last year, and now it ran out. They started charging me full price, which I didn't appreciate. I went online. They had an online chat bot. I said, I want to cancel. They said, okay, how about this deal? It was actually cheaper than what I'd been paying in my previous discount. I said, great, I'll take it. And boom, it took 2 seconds, and I slashed the bill beyond half. It was the best thing ever. I felt like I really got one over on it.
That's funny. That seems like such a funny thing to automate.
Well, because I think it's one of those things. Nobody pays full price. Right. And so I think they're like, listen, if it must be cheaper for them to not pay someone to be on the phone than just to give me the deal.
Right. Yeah, that's probably true. Like me paying full price on my Comcast subscription, I'm probably a huge chump.
Well, and you know what? I have horrible luck with Comcast. I really do. I never can. I'll be like, I'm going to cancel. They're like, great, go for it. I'll be like, no, I'm going to do it. They're like, fine, go right ahead. Like we don't. I was having an issue with a cable box, my main cable box. So I went to the Xfinity store, which actually I will say is actually a decent experience in person. I recommend if you have Comcast and you have questions, go to the store. They're not bad. I went in there, I was exchanging the box, and the lady volunteered. She's like, would you like me to check your account and make sure you're getting all the promotions? And I was like, yeah, this is great. She goes through my account and she's like, normally I can find a discount on just about anyone's account, but I can't see anything for yours. I'm like, come on. She's like, I can't, there's really no discount I can give you.
Right.
And I'm like,
in fact, you're not paying enough. I have to raise your
oh yeah. Well, no. I appreciate you joking, but she was like, and in 3 months it's going to go up because you're actually on a promotional rate now. I'm like, you're kidding me. I appreciated it, but it was just very funny. She's like, normally I can get some savings, but not for you. I said, well, nice of you to try.
That's messed up.
Have there been any subscriptions you've been stuck with?
We went through and did a TV negotiation. I don't think I'm stuck with anything. I'm kind of stuck with Comcast because it's the only option. We do have that Starry thing now, which is pretty cheap, certainly compared to Comcast, but it's not. In my building, they don't have like super high bandwidth. It's not super low. It's like 250 or something. And allegedly they do have good upload speeds, but which Comcast is not. Terrible upload speeds. That's why I pay like $125 a month to get the one plan that has like 25 megabits up instead of 10. So Comcast we're stuck with. Otherwise, it's just like TV stuff mostly. We also get that like meat delivery thing, which we just turned down to once a month instead of, or once every 2 months instead of once a month or something.
Yeah, the big ones that get me are, I'm trying to cut back on spending. So there's a few I've switched to yearly charges. Like once I'm going to subscribe to for the next 12 months. You say you'll get a month or two free because you pay by the year.
Right.
But what happens is on some of them, if it's so cheap, like buy the whole year for like $50, like, okay, that's not crazy to buy a whole. I'll forget I did it. And then they auto bill you, or it was Paramount Plus. When they first launched it, they were running a deal where it was like the whole first year was $30 or something. I said, that's great. That's a great deal. I'll take that. They auto renewed me at $100 a year. I was pissed. I couldn't believe the nerve. I literally complained. I literally reached out to them and I'm like, you didn't send me any. No, hey, in 30 days, we're going to renew you.
Right.
They just hit my PayPal. And they ended up, I think they refunded me like half of it. But that was brutal.
I tried to subscribe to as many things as possible through like the app store.
Sure.
Because then you get that like very helpful subscriptions page breakdown. And you can pre-cancel stuff, which I do all of the time. Like, if there's something I'm not sure about, or I do a 1-year subscription for a thing that's like, I don't know if I'm going to want this next year, I just pre-cancel it. And then if it runs out and I'm like, oh no, my Paramount Plus, I just turn it back on. Right.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's bad for the people giving the subscriptions because they have to pay whatever cut to Apple, I guess.
Well, someone announced, I don't remember what service, some service announced it was going to cost more to subscribe via Apple because they were making you pay for the difference. I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, I guess.
It's a convenience fee essentially.
Right.
They could just make it. Well, hopefully the FTC wins and they make it easy.
Right.
Not that I've ever considered canceling my Prime subscription.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, has anyone tried? Like, what's life like if you don't have Prime?
Things take honestly, what are the shipping times for non-Prime deliveries? It's got to be like 8 months. Like, it's got to be so ridiculous they force people to get Prime.
Right. Is it bad? I don't know. I also I feel like every time I try and do, once in a while I'll order something and I'm not going to be home that weekend. So I do no rush shipping. And without fail, it always comes on the day that I'm not going to be home, which I was trying to avoid by doing no rush shipping. And instead they rushed in.
Yeah, they have now started offering me complimentary, what they call overnight shipping, which is where they're like, it'll be at your house at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm like, that is so unnecessary. Like, I feel bad. Like, actually, I would rather you not offer me this for free. Um,
I get the same day a lot, where they probably do it on purpose, but like once in a while, if I kind of have been thinking about something, and I'll open Amazon on Saturday morning when I'm lazing around on Saturday morning, and the thing is there, and it's like, get it delivered in the next 3 hours. It's like, shit.
you can turn this weekend around.
Right. It's just occurring to me that they probably know the things I looked at and like queued them up at the
Sure.
deliveries.
And they know what truck is going to be driving through your neighborhood on that day. And
Right.
I mean, again, it's when you're that powerful, you can do the math.
Massive.
Believe me, if they were losing money on it, they wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
So,
I don't know, man.
it's pretty wild.
Maybe we should take the no Prime challenge.
What is Prime up to now? 130 a year, 140 a year?
I don't even.
You don't know it's auto
I
bill.
just haven't thought about it.
and it's never month to month. They always hit you that one time a year.
Right. Like, I probably got Prime in college or something when it was $40.
What is this? $139 per year is the current rate. Would I save that if I had to pay on a per package? Do they still do like free if you buy a minimum of $35 or whatever for non-Prime? I wonder.
I have no idea.
Oh boy, we've just been in the Prime universe for so long.
Right. I don't know. I had a weird Amazon experience recently because a long time ago I had bought Laura for like her birthday or something, like a refurbished Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I chose to get the refurbished one, which was like $15.
Because you don't love her enough?
Yeah, probably. It seemed like a good idea at the time. You know, I think it might have been I wanted to get it in a color, and the color that I wanted to get was not available new, so I decided to get a refurbished one. And it was not well refurbished. Like they didn't do a good job. It looked fine and it did the thing, but like the battery did not last very long for a Kindle. Like it would last for like a week, but that's like not what you expect. And I like kind of dragged my feet on like, you know, you can send it back and they'll send you another refurbished one. And I like dragged my feet and I didn't do it in time. And so recently I like, it was being weird. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get like an actual new Kindle. And then I'll, you know, whatever, we'll get rid of this refurbished one. And so I did the thing, and you can do like a trade in,
mm-hmm.
and you send the Kindle back, and like they ask you like what device you're sending back, and like I chose the thing I purchased from the drop down and sent it back, and they give you like a pre $20 credit off on the new thing and whatever. So I sent it back, and then 2 weeks later, I get a unexpected package from Amazon, and it's the Kindle that I sent them, plus a charger. Very confusing. And then I had an email that was like, your trade-in was rejected because it's not the device you said it is. It's like, this is the device that I picked this out of the list. Things that I purchased.
They're like, we couldn't have possibly refurbished this. It's a piece of crap. Right. Yeah.
So I just got rid of it. It wasn't worth another trip to the UPS store.
That is wild.
Yeah. So dumb. But related, the new Kindles are very nice.
Are they?
The screen's bigger.
And nice.
They have a nice feel to them. Still didn't have any buttons. It was like one of the regular ones, not the button one. But someday mine's gonna break.
You're just waiting. Right. You're ready. You're due. Have you been reading? I've been reading. I read more in the summer.
Yeah. No, I read. I feel like most of the leisure reading I do is in the summer. I read all year to like fall asleep. So I
Hmm.
read very slowly unless I'm on vacation or something, and then I'll read like a bunch. Um
Hmm.
but yeah, I guess I don't read enough to wear out my Kindle whatever it is that I've had for 8 years.
Yeah, my bookshelf is getting too full, so I'm running out of space. So I may have to make the switch sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
As much as I love physical books.
Yeah, man. Books.
Any other of the stories in here? You want to cruise on over to Pixland?
Meh. It's up
Meh.
to you.
All right, Pixland it is. Colby, why don't you go first because I am familiar with your pick this week.
Nice. I saw on the App Store something recently, this game called Railbound. It's like a puzzle game where there are like a couple of train cars and you have to like lay a loop de loop of tracks to get the train cars like connected to the train in the right order. Uh it's pretty fun. It's very low stakes. It's like a puzzle game, so you know there are like 100 levels of like train puzzle. Um and it gets like it's really easy at first and then it gets pretty hard. But it's not, I haven't found it like obnoxiously hard. There are also like there's like a main path of levels that you're following, and then there are like harder versions of some of the levels that you already did. So even if you like are stuck, like you can't go to the next thing from where you are, there are some other things that you can like go back to the harder levels and try and do those of the ones you've already accomplished. So like so far it's been keeping my attention, though I am stuck. Like I haven't been able to progress in at least a week. So I'm hoping that I get less dumb or something and figure it out because it is fun. It has a nice animations and some fun
Yeah,
sounds.
it's very pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Did you ever play Golf Peaks?
Golf Peaks? I don't think so.
I played it for a while. It's actually a very fun game, and it's by the same people. Afterburn.games is their website. And it's a puzzle game as well. You got to get a little golf ball.
Golf Peaks. This
Into
looks
the
pretty
thing.
fun.
But yeah, I did it again. My like tolerance for iOS games of like I'm bored with this is shockingly low. Like you'll get like a week out of me and I'm already bored. So but I am interested because I liked Golf Peaks and I like Railbound. They actually have a third game called Invento where it's like it's sushi and you've got to arrange it into certain shapes. I'm gonna give it a shot because I like their other games. So
That looks kind of fun too.
I will get bored with it immediately. No, this is great. Railbound, available on all major platforms: iOS, Google Play, Steam, the Nintendo eShop. Check it out. Colby, for my pick this week, I finally bought a new chair. I talked about it on the show before. We consulted, and I went to a site called Branch, which is branchfurniture.com. They are some kind of startup or whatever that makes chairs and desks. I first went to my local Staples and was not impressed by what was available there. I didn't find anything particularly comfortable. I was very nervous to order one on the internet. I hadn't tried before, but they do have a return policy. Thankfully, I didn't need it. They only have like 4 or 5 chair models, so it's not particularly complex. I went with the ergonomic chair. It's their bestseller. And highly adjustable, decent, firm but comfortable seat. 7-year warranty on it, so it's a quality chair. If anyone is incredibly curious, I got it in the pebble color. I don't know if you can see it on the camera here, but it's got sort of these nice stripes on it in this gray and white. And I've been very satisfied with it. I've had it for a couple weeks. And I don't, again, I don't use my chair that much. I'm at work all day. So it's not like I'm sitting in it a lot. That's why I thought that for the price point, it was not like enough for a decent chair, but not so much. It's like a big deal. So branchfurniture.com, the ergonomic chair. I'm satisfied.
Nice. Looks
Yep.
like an office chair.
Well, the big struggle for me is my old chair was wholly unadjustable. You couldn't adjust anything on it, and this thing has like 8 points of adjustment, and so I keep tweaking it a little. Like, should the armrest be forward or back, or higher or lower, or like should I lean forward or back? It's I'll get there, but it's just taking some finesse. But overall, it's comfortable.
Nice. Love the adjustable armrests.
Yes. Well, what's nice is on my old chair, they were low. And so I think my ergonomics were kind of wacky. And now that my arm's kind of up and I'm putting less strain on the wrist at the edge of the desk. I do think it's that. And then the fact that I can adjust and lock at any angle going back. So I think it's a little better for the back as well. So the only thing is I got an extra thing that goes behind the head that you attach, but it's been back ordered for like 8 weeks or something. So I don't know when I'll get that, but
Sean has a weak neck. He needs to hold his head up.
It's like, damn supply chain. It's bad for my health.
Right.
Excellent. Very good. Well, Colby, we're approaching the end of this one.
Looks like we made it.
Well, first of all, of course, I got to mention Up for Debate. I know Colby is an avid listener. We're finally not playing text-based adventure games anymore, thank God. And instead, we moved on to our big summer traditions. Our summer reading list is out. We picked 2 books. The book I suggested is on the history of Blockbuster Video, which I'm interested about. And then Matt's pick I picked is what is it? I'd do better if I just read the description so I don't screw it up. It is about the lost whaler Essex, which sank in the Pacific Ocean in 1820. About a whale ship from Nantucket that sank after a whale attacked it. Supposedly, the story was taken for Moby Dick, and the story of what happened to the crew that attempted to survive following it in the heart of the sea. So some good books coming, and then next week we're going to pick our movie franchise, our summer movie franchise. We've already taped it. I haven't published it yet, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say you will never guess what we picked. It is unbelievable. So you're going to want to check that out. And Up for Debate or wherever you get podcasts. And we'll be watching the first movie in the coming weeks. So check that out. Colby, is there anything you'd like to plug? You never get the opportunity to plug anything. What would you like to plug?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to plug.
I'll save this plug coupon for
cash it in. You're gonna have so many. You're gonna have a whole episode of just plugs. Well, listen.
Get ready.
I'm gonna plug road tripping with my good personal friend Colby this weekend. 4th of July, Maryland. Here we come. Get excited. We've got several hours in the car, and many good times ahead.
Right. Get ready for the New Jersey Turnpike.
And believe it or not, Colby, I'm such a lunatic. I actually contemplated, could we record a podcast in the car? And it was tempting. And then I said, that sounds distracting while driving. So maybe we shouldn't do that. But we could, but we won't. Because I wouldn't dare make you and my friends do that.
Car trivia. I just watched the episode of 30 Rock yesterday where Tracy takes the cash cab to the birth of his child.
Hell yeah. Boy, was that a cultural thing for a while. Cash cab.
It made me want to watch Cash Cab.
I have no idea how well it holds up. I would be that seems like one of those, like, I hate to phrase it this way, like a pre 9/11 thing where we're like, it was cute back then, but today it just seems kind of sad. You know what I mean? There's just those certain types of media where you're like, boy, that's very like late 90s, early 2000s.
Right. How are we ever entertained by this?
Yeah, I don't. Benjamin Bailey, I think, was the host.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
still
great.
picture him.
That seems ready for like a big budget reboot, like a prime time game show spectacular.
Cash Cab the movie.
Cash Cow the movie. Oh boy, you should write that. What would the plot be?
The Angry Birds movie.
Listen, that you get the cab going fast and some cool explosions and jumps and stuff, and you got yourself a hit film. Listen, folks, our website is don'tpanic.io. You can go there and get all the episodes, past, present, and future, video and audio, and links to the picks. Colby, I finally, in going through and canceling my subscriptions, I finally figured out. Now, you want to talk about hard to cancel? I've wanted to, finally had to dig deep enough to figure out how to cancel our phone number.
You did it. Wow.
I finally did it because it was a Skype phone number. Do you know how buried the Skype settings are in Microsoft's web of websites? Super buried. Because I don't think anyone's bought a Skype phone number in a million years. So I finally canceled it. So you can't call us anymore, but you can email us, don'tpanicshow@gmail.com, or tweet at us at don'tpanicshow. Unfortunately, I don't know where the number goes now, but not to Skype.
No, sir.
And that's it.
Oh my God, we could go see Benjamin Bailey on tour.
He is a comedian, and he does do cash cab bits. I don't know if he still does, but I know at the time, because I saw some of his stand-up from around that time, and he does do cash cab jokes.
Amazing.
We'll bring big signs like "We Heart Cash Cab." Bring bash cash cab. I'm sure he'd appreciate the love. But that's going to do it here. So on behalf of Colby, I'm Sean. We'll bring Dan with us next time. But until then, on behalf of us, we appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time for another great episode of The Don't Panic.